Hard landscaping doesn't necessarily have to be hard work, and it really can finish off the edge of your garden quite neatly. Now this area here in the small garden where the lawn meets the rockery, the grass was growing over, it constantly needed trimming. Laying down a strip of cobblestone pavers like this really can finish off the area. It gives us a definitive border between the lawn and the flower bed, or in this case the rockery, and it's not that difficult. Let me show you how I did these. I started by hammering in stakes and ran a fish line between where I wanted the cobblestones to sit, and in this case here, this rock does protrude somewhat. So I placed the cobble as close as possible and used this as my reference. I then cut and removed the lawn with a spade and dug the area lower and wider than the actual cobblestone. So yes, you could lay these pavers straight onto the existing soil, but that would mean the cobbles would be sitting proud of the lawn. I prefer to have them flush to the grass level. Now these cobbles are going to be laid in cement, so I wanted a good 30 to 40 millimeters depth below the stone to form a decent foundation. Now using a pick to gently break the surface was the easiest way of gaining some depth, and as this ground was really hard, I gave it a watering just to soften the upper layers before stamping it flat with a stamper. I don't want any stones sticking up that would get in the way. The next step was to mix up cement, and mixing the dry ingredients first is the easiest way of ensuring an evenly blended mixture. Don't add too much water, we want a fairly thick consistency. I then laid this freshly mixed cement into my new dug and cleaned area and shaped it and leveled it with a trowel and pressed it firmly into place with a float, ensuring I had a uniform surface where we're going to lay the cobbles. I then placed the first cobblestone into the cement. I then flipped the float onto its side and used the thickness of the float to give me a small gap between the next stone and gave it a firm knock with a rubber mallet. No, not a 4-pound hammer. This is to ensure that the cobblestone is properly bedded into the cement. And simply repeated this as I went along. Now this gap, when filled with cement, will bind the cobbles on the sides of each and not just on the base, and it'll give us a stronger hold with less chance of any cobbles moving in the future. Don't forget to use your fish line as a guide, take your time and ensure that each block is correctly placed before moving along. And shape the inside so the cement sits neatly below ground level. Shaping the cement inward also reduces how much water could possibly run under the pavers, and reducing any potential washaways reduces the chance of the cobbles moving. The last step now was to take some quality garden master potting soil and backfill behind the blocks and raise up the level of the flower bed to just below the tops of the pavers. Simplicity, guys, you really don't need to overthink it, and hard landscaping doesn't always mean hard work. Look how easy this was, look how great it looks. Now Builders has a range of paving options and all the products you need to get your own paving done. It's due day for paving jobs around the house. Get to Builders, get it done.